everyone. Welcome back to Speaking of Spirits. I'm SOS or Colleen, and I'm here with my co-host, Dirty Birdie.
Hello, good morning, everybody.
Today we thought we'd lighten up the mood a little bit, and we're talking about epithets, or funny or serious gravestones, right?
Or inspiring, yeah.
Or inspiring, yeah. Sometimes I found a lot of recipes on gravestones, which I thought was kind of cute.
Yeah. I found a few of those last night.
I know. I'm thinking I should probably write some of those down and try them, like bread and fudge and cookies. And I thought that was kind of cute, you know. But we'll start off with Shakespeare, right? And so I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the Shakespeare tombstone here because of the way they wrote it. There's one word in particular. I'm not sure what it is. So, because a lot of times U's or V's in the old fonts.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'll see. It says good friend for, and this is the word, I-E-S-U-S. ISIS sake? That's I-E-S-U-S.
I-E-S-U-S?
I know. So good friend for, maybe it's supposed to mean heaven's sake. I don't know. Forbear to dig dust enclosed here. So basically saying you're a good friend, you know. But blessed be ye men, ye spares these stones. So don't disturb me. And cursed be he that moves my bones.
Yep. You'll be cursed if you move my body. Yep.
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
dig
I like
me up.
that.
Don't move my body.
Yeah. Yeah. I found another one. I don't know who this person is, but Lily Gray. And her tombstone says, Victim of the Beast 666.
What?
Isn't that nuts? It's real. I mean, I saw the picture of this thing in a graveyard. So you guys, if you want to Google it and look at it, it's bananas. Victim of the Beast 666.
When did she die?
I don't know. It didn't have a date that I remember. Maybe it did, but
is it super old?
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember. And I do have a picture of one that is creepy as hell. And let me show it to you guys, because this is at the Ohio Asylum.
Oh, that place. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It just says specimens.
Oh,
it's like, what does that mean? That's all it says. What does it mean? Is it body parts? Is it brains? Because they did lobotomy. What does it mean?
Oh. Could it? Oh God, I hate to think this, but animal specimens, or is it?
I don't think so.
Specifically, like human experiments.
That's what I'm thinking. It's experiments. It's horrible, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, damn. Okay, so
you got to remember back then, if you got put in a place like that, you're not a human anymore. You're walking meat.
Oh God, it's just terrible. Anyway, that one was creepy, but we have a lot of funny ones. This one is bananas. This whole thing was written on this lady's tombstone in memory of Ellie Shannon, and I looked her up, and she had immigrated from Ireland. Age 26 years old, who was fatally burned March 21, 1870, by the explosion of a lamp filled with Reed Danforth's non-explosive burning fluid.
So she burned to death with non-explosive fluid?
Yeah, so in a lamp.
Yeah.
So this guy was marketing, because, and that's one of the episodes that we're going to do at some point. We're going to come up. I have a ton of old ads that were saved that in the newspapers, and I have tons and tons of those. When I run across them, I save them. And I'm telling you what, they advertise everything. So here's this poor lady. They put this non-explosive burning fluid, so it would light, like it would provide you light and illumination, but it wouldn't explode, and then it exploded and killed her.
Did it explode, or did she like break the
Well,
lamp? I'm
fatally
thinking it's
burned, but I
like
think I remember reading about it saying that it exploded.
oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
thinking old school hurricane oil lamp. Those you drop it, it goes everywhere,
Yeah.
and it's on fire. So
Right. Yeah, we used to use those all the time when I grew up in the mountains because we'd lose our power. We didn't have generators. Nobody had generators. You used those hurricane lamps and a wood stove.
I've only seen them
Dangerous.
as decorations. I never used one.
Yeah, we had to a lot because our power would go out when it'd be heavy snow. So here's another one that's bananas. In memory of Jane McCure, bitten by a rabid coyote, developed rabies, became violent, and was smothered with a feather bed when her husband returned. She and her unborn child were dead and buried. That's on her tombstone.
Oh, geez.
Can you imagine?
He smothered her with a mattress?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably, she became violent.
Well, yeah. You get
So,
rabies,
yeah,
and you
and he
just let it
probably
go. It's
knew not to get bitten or anything, so he picked up the mattress and smothered her.
probably just like tossed her on the floor and tossed the mattress on top of her and
And
sat
laid
on
on
her.
her. Yep.
God, that's
Scary.
awful.
I mean, rabies, people don't realize rabies, you get bitten by an animal with rabies, unless you get treatment, I think it's within 24 hours, it could be even less,
Yep.
you will contract rabies and there is no cure. You will die.
Yep. You've got less than a day to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
And from what I understand, it is not a pleasant experience because they
No,
break out needles like this
not
long.
anymore. Not anymore. They used
Oh,
to.
okay.
But
Yeah.
I've gone in for the pre-rabies shot when I worked with bats. But so I had to go in for you can get a series of shots to help prevent contraction. But then if you do get bitten, and the crazy thing about bats is their teeth are so sharp that you may not know you've been bitten.
Oh, fabulous.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. So, but anyway, yeah. There was another one that I liked, this one. And this one would be fitting for my dad. It was One Hell of a Life. Yeah. Yeah. If my dad had a tombstone, I'd have one of his little airplanes back here in the fridge. I'd have that on there, but it was one hell of a life. Yeah. Maybe I should
Yeah,
make
see,
one for him.
that's the inspiring part.
Yeah. Yeah. He loved every moment of every day. He was really, really a great guy. Winston Churchill. And if you don't know who that is, you younger folks out there, you need to read up on some history. He says, I'm ready to meet my maker. Whether my maker is prepared for the great ordeal of meeting me is another matter.
Yep.
Yeah, he was
I saw
great.
that one.
Yeah. I like this one. This one was cute. This gal had a sense of humor. So it's at the tombstone, and then right down at the her husband was on one side of the plot, and then she's on this plot, and then down at the very bottom it says, "If you can read this, you're standing on my boobs."
Yeah, I saw that one.
I'm like, great, that was great. Another one that says, "I told you I was sick."
Yep. I think that one is in Ireland somewhere.
Oh my god. Doc Holliday. I don't know. Is this one real? It says he died in bed. I know he
Doc
did die
Holliday.
in bed, but I don't know if that tombstone was real.
I don't know. Doc
Might
Holliday.
be.
I think he died from tuberculosis.
Yeah, he died in bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's probably real.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Alfred Hitchcock. I'm in on a plot. I like that one.
Oh, the pun.
What would yours say, Kelly?
Oh, I'm not getting one.
You're
I'm
not?
getting Nope, I'm getting cremated.
Well, I'm getting cremated too, but I think I want a tombstone somewhere. I think it'd be cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll have all of the animals with ghosts or something too. I don't know. I
Yeah,
haven't thought about it.
Just take me out to one of my favorite fishing holes and spread me around. That's good enough.
Well, I thought, this is morbid, but when I get to the point where I'm ready to go, just take me up to like Island Park and let the grizzlies take me out, Give back to nature a little bit.
That's a sky funeral with more steps.
Okay, for a good time dig. I loved that. What a great sense of humor. And that must have been on the back. I didn't see the front, like the name or anything, for a good time dig. And Mel Blanc, remember who that was, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he did. If you guys don't know who that was, he did like all of the voices for Looney Tunes, and called him the man of 1,000 voices, right?
Yep.
So he did Bugs Bunny and
Daffy Duck.
Like all of them.
Yosemite, he did all of them.
He did all of them. Porky Pig. His says, "That's all, folks." Yep.
Rodney Dangerfield has one that says, "There goes the neighborhood."
I loved him. God, he was great. God, I need to Netflix some of his movies. I'll tell you. I found one that says, "I was hoping for a pyramid." Like that one. And this one would be good. This one would be good. It says, "Now I know something you don't."
Oh, that's deep.
Uh-huh. I like it.
Besides the casket, that's deep.
I love Edgar Allan Poe. His says, quote, "The Raven, nevermore."
Yep. That's a good one. I saw one that said, here lies an atheist all dressed up and nowhere to go.
I have that one. Yeah, and that was my next one. I like that too. Oh God. Here lies John Yeast. Pardon me for not rising. I mean, this is your last, think about it, folks. This is going to be your last shot at saying something to the world.
Funny, profound, inspiring, anything like that.
Make it a good one, man. And we don't think about it, right? You go through your whole life not thinking about it. And then all of a sudden it's like, somebody's going to have to come up with this if you haven't written it down somewhere for them to put it on your tombstone.
Yeah. Did you see the one where there's a headstone that says burgers? And then kitty corner from that, it says fries.
Fries? Yeah. Now, do you remember who Merv Griffin was?
Merv Griffin, yeah. He was a game show host for the longest time.
Well, and he had a talk show.
Yeah, and talk show.
He had like it was like a Johnny Carson type show. So, yeah, I remember him. Oh, gosh. Yeah. So I'm dating myself. It was a good show. But anyway, he says, "I will not be right back after this message."
After these messages, yep.
So, and another one I found, it says, "Go away, I'm asleep." This one was interesting because, man, I was thinking a long time about this one. I came here without being consulted, and I leave here without my consent.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's
didn't ask to be born and didn't ask to die.
Yeah, well, pretty much. I didn't ask to be born and I didn't get permission to die.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that, I can so relate to this one. It says, "Destined to be a woman with too many cats."
The crazy cat lady story.
The crazy cat lady. Let's see. I think I had another tombstone to show you guys. The specimen still gets me. Okay, let me share this screen. This one was good.
Yeah.
So
I saw that one.
I like it. Whenever I go anywhere, so I have a trip this next week. I always go to graveyards. And it's not because I feel like there's any paranormal anything going on, because I really don't find much going on in them. but I love to read the epithets. And I love to, you go by families and their names, and there's just so much history there that it's sad for me because I love history, and it's sad that all of a sudden, it's gone. These people are gone and their stories are gone. And if they're not written down somewhere, they're
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah, the one here is pretty interesting. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, and one end is where they started, and then I mean where this city started, super old, 1860s or something like that, super old graves, and then you go around and they start getting earlier and earlier, and there's different sections for Japanese people, and
I didn't realize there was different sections. I know the older section real close to ISU. And some of those, they're so little that all the writing is now worn off. And I hope they have them recorded.
Yeah, but they don't really have a specific section. I think you can just buy a plot because they're all different dates and whatnot. But it's really interesting to walk past some of the really super old ones.
Yeah.
Or, they've got different little sections. I think I saw a Greek one, and I think I saw, maybe an Arab one. Maybe. Yeah, they're really interesting to look at. Some of them still have the old photos.
Yeah. Well, think about it. We're a railroad town, so a lot of people were coming and going, and people died. And
oh yeah, people died all the time.
Yeah. So, another tombstone I found, and I like this one a lot. It said, "Shit happens."
Yep.
And okay, this one was funny. This couple had a good sense of humor. The last name is Spanks, and it says Arthur Spanks' wife, Catherine. Let's see. She always said her feet were killing her, but no one believed her.
Yep. I've seen that one. I don't know what it quite means. Like, some people are saying that she was doing a lot of housework.
Oh.
And no help. So that might have contributed to it.
Yeah, worked herself to death kind of thing. Yeah. This one I think was in Ireland. Uncle Walter loved to spend. He had no money in the end, but with many a whiskey and many a wife, he really did enjoy his life. That was great. And then another one, of course, ending with this one, it says, I see dumb people.
I see dumb people.
I don't know. They're great. They're great. Did you have any others in particular?
I mean, I got the Jesse James one.
Oh, what did that say?
It says, murdered by a traitor and a coward whose name is not worthy to appear here.
Wow.
So, and I got one.
Was that his? Who killed Jesse James? Was that a member of his gang, right? His own gang?
I would think so. They called him a
traitor.
Murderer and a traitor and a coward. So, yeah. And I got one from a mathematician, Ludolf van Colleen, who was the first person to calculate the value of pi to the 35th decimal place. And that's engraved on his tombstone.
Nice.
Yeah, it's in a big circle from start to finish. I thought that was kind of cool. Do you know who Jack Lemmon is? Is?
You bet.
Yeah, that's all it says on his. Well, this is what it says on his tombstone. It just says Jack Lemmon in, and that's it.
In.
Like when the movie screen pops up and it's like this person, and
like
Jack Lemmon in, and that's it.
Oh wow, that's interesting.
Because he's been in so many films.
Yeah, he's a great actor. Yeah.
Betty Davis has one that says she did it the hard way.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was Joan Hackett that said, "Go away, I'm asleep."
So I went to Forest Lawn in Hollywood years ago, and that was really, really something. because you have just all of these Hollywood legends are buried there. And you spend days there just reading them, tombstones, and going through there.
Oh, I
It's really
bet.
something else. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd love to check it out
And
someday.
then New Orleans, of course, I had to go see. They have now cordoned it off so you can't get right up to the tomb anymore, but Marie Laveau's.
Mm-hmm.
And used to go up like you left her something. It was pay of respect, or else she might come after you. So a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people left, coins, quarters, pennies, whatever they had, and flowers. But and every night they would take that money and it went into maintaining everything in there. And it really is a fascinating cemetery because, and I always thought that they buried all of their dead in New Orleans because of the high water table, that they buried them above ground, but that's not the case. And when we went through a guided tour there before we walked around, we were told by the guide that the way those vaults are built, you'll notice on them that they have like I don't even know, but like so the tombs go back to early 1600s, I think, somewhere in there, 1700s, when the French were in that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they built these, and like I don't know, don't quote me on this, but let's say every 50 years, they put in a new person in the same tomb. Well, what happens is the way these things are built, they're like pizza ovens
Yep, they turn
kind of
into
thing.
ovens.
Yeah, so the body basically becomes cremated from the heat inside these, and then they have an ash bin. And so every so many 50 years, let's say, the body has turned to ash. I mean, they've got it down to a science. They can open the ash bin, collect the ashes, and then I don't know what happens with the ashes at that point, but then they put in another body. So they can keep using the same tombs over and over. So you'll see on the tombs, they'll have like just all kinds of names and dates on them. That's because that's how they work the cemeteries there.
Yeah, some of them have some places got those and they're big family crypts.
Mm-hmm.
So say, yeah, it's like grandma and grandpa died, they put them in there and then they shuffle them out after a while with another person and another person in the family.
Mm-hmm.
And then they just put their little name plaques up there.
From what I remember, but I'm not certain, but from what I remember, I think like there were certain ones that were dedicated. I think Marie Laveau's was dedicated. There was certain people there that had a dedicated tomb or crypt, and not they were just by themselves. But that was not the norm in the cemeteries. There was like a family, like you said, it was either a family or it was just person after person. So
Yep.
yeah, pretty interesting. So I was always under the assumption, like I said, it was high water table, like you couldn't bury because caskets would end up floating up, and breaking
And
through
they
the
have.
ground. Yeah, they do that, and I've responded to like hurricane stuff where underground gas tanks will do it. Your underground storage tanks for gas stations.
Yep.
There's so much flooding that all of a sudden these enormous tanks just pop right through the cement. So yeah, if they can do it, a casket can do it.
Yep.
So yeah, but it's pretty
I
interesting.
don't know how I would respond to that. Just waking up and I'm like, oh, great, hurricane. Go outside and there's coffins floating down my street, and I'd be like, time to go back to bed.
And alligators and everything else,
Oh yeah, I forgot about the
and the
alligators.
snakes, and the snakes, like the water moccasins and the copperheads, they would just be everywhere when you respond to these things, because we had to like respond environmentally, and then you're in there doing stuff to to assess the damage, and there's gators and snakes everywhere floating through the water because now all of a sudden they're not in their stream channels or their wetland areas, they're
Yep.
in town.
Yep. It's free reign.
Yeah, they're floating through. Oh, yeah, it just gave me the willies. But anyway, we're off topic. How I think if you don't enjoy cemeteries, I'm sorry. They're a very peaceful place. I find them very peaceful. I go in there. I enjoy the history. I enjoy reading some of these. Some of them are pretty funny. Some of them are really sad, but they are a peaceful place. So I don't know. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Do you have any more?
No.
No. And we thought we would depart from the normal. Ha ha ha. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, this is SOS and Dirty Birdie, and we're signing off on this episode. Have a good day.
See everybody later.